So, we are going to talk all about how to reframe your brain, reframe your mindset so that you can earn unlimited amount of money. Unlimited, okay? So, in this call tonight, earlier when I was on a call with John Gordon, he asked a question. Now I'm going to ask you this question, okay? Do the negative Where do the negative thoughts that you have come from? Where do they come from? Where do the negative thoughts that you have come from? And most people would say, oh, they come from my head. Like they come from me, right? Well, if they come from you, would you choose to have a negative thought? No, you wouldn't. Like naturally, no one is going to say, yes, I choose to have a negative thought. Like I'm choosing, because what we know is that negativity, it does not feel good. Doesn't it feel awful? Like when you think negative or even when you're around negative people, don't you just feel it? Like for me, it almost feels like someone is restricting me. Like someone is just like squeezing the life out of me. And one thing when it comes to business, when it comes to starting a business, setting out on something new, you cannot afford to be negative in that in that area. And I feel like some of you got so much negativity going on in your mind, and that's why you haven't even started yet. But if those negative thoughts do not come from you, where do they come from? Or if they come from you, would you choose that? And obviously, like you're going to say, no, I wouldn't choose that. But what happens is we have a negative thought and we believe it, and then we start nurturing that thought. Or maybe perhaps you have negative thoughts because of maybe you grew up and your parents were very pessimistic and your parents spoke disbelief and your parents spoke doubt to you. Or maybe you were in a relationship and your significant other was so negative and always was planting doubt in your mind, and you can't do that. And, how is that even going to be possible? And, I don't know, but negative thoughts really, number one, they don't come from you. I feel like negative thoughts come from the enemy to your soul. They really do. They come from the enemy of your soul. And if you're able to stop and ask yourself, okay, is this truth or is it a lie? You're often going to say it's a lie. It's always just positive versus negative, and you truly can be a hero in your epic story. You truly can be a hero in your own epic story. So, asking the question again, if they come from you, would you choose to have a negative thought? No. So disregard it, because here's what I know, and I'm going to get a little biblical on you. I'm going to get a little preachy on you, so just bear with me. But here's what I know. I know that God doesn't make junk. I know that God knew you before you were in your mother's womb, and I know that God has a plan and purpose for your life, and it is a good plan. It's a good purpose. And I feel like if you are inspired to start a passive income business, I believe that came from your maker, and he's equipped you with everything you need to be successful. You just need to start believing it. And so once you understand that you did not choose these negative thoughts, then you can choose the positive, right? Turn it into a power thought. Don't believe the lie. I want you to look at your past. Look at the things that you've done in your past. And I want you to celebrate yourself right now, because I know that the older we get, the more life just kind of beats us down and we stop celebrating ourselves. It can start with even just like, What is one good thing you did today? What is like one positive thing that you did today? I know that there is something where you can say, yes, okay, man, I did this today. I did that, right? I know there is something there for you to celebrate yourself with. There has to be. There has to be. So stop believing the lies and look for opportunities to celebrate yourself. Because I don't think you do enough of that. Okay? And that is one way you can combat negative thoughts. Make yourself proud. Do something every day that's going to make yourself proud and celebrate yourself. But the number one way to overcome negative thoughts, and this is according to John Gordon, is to tune. Okay. You want to tune your mind into that higher place of thinking, into that elevated place of thought. Okay. And the way to do that is number one, trust. So what happens whenever typically when we have negative thoughts, it's because we have a lack of trust. Like we have fear, we have anxiety, we have doubt, and those things disconnect us from our true self. Because listen, we were all made in his image. And God has given you the power to do all things in his name, right? And so when you start having fear and anxiety and doubt, that connects you. That disconnects you from your power source, from your truest, highest self, from your authentic self. Hey, Nora, nice to see you on, girlfriend. I appreciate you. You are completely disconnected. So how do we get rid of fear? How do we get rid of doubt? How do we get rid of fear and doubt? Because fear and doubt will stop you from starting your business and it will cause you to quit your business, right? So how do we avoid fear and doubt? Well, we've got to trust in the process. Because all fear and doubt and anxiety, that is just a symptom of lack of trust, okay? So you have to trust. That's the T in tune. If you're taking notes, the T in tune is trust. You have to trust the process. Okay. And so it also means that you do not want to trust in, let me see. Okay. It also means that what do you not want to trust in? You don't want to trust in the government. You don't want to trust in, right, your bank account. You don't want to trust in your spouse. You don't want to trust in your kid. Like, you really want to trust in your God. Trust in Jesus. Trust in your God, right? Trust that he put this desire in your heart to start this business. Trust that he's equipped you to carry out, the business that you want to build, right? Trust that. And then the U is unite with love. Focus on love. When you focus on love, love conquers all fear, right? So when instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid no one is going to comment on my video. I'm so afraid I'm going to mess up on my video. I'm so afraid I'm going to do this post and no one is going to like it. I'm so afraid no one is going to respond to my messages, whatever, right? Instead of saying that to yourself, why don't you just focus on how much fun it is? Why don't you just fall in love with the actual process of creating the content? Man, I'm telling you, my friend, when you can get to that place where you're just having so much fun and you're loving what you're doing despite the outcome, that right there is that's when life is like super fun. I mean, like super, super fun. It is so fun to create content. I want you to say that. It is so fun to work my business. You just have to have fun, my friends, and you have to fall in love with what you're doing. When you fall in love with what you're doing, the money will come. It will come. I promise you it will come. But what I know is the more confident you are in what you're doing, the more fun it is and the more you love it. I get that. So don't worry. I will teach you the skills. Okay. I will teach you the skills it takes to learn and have fun here. Okay. But I want you to just have fun and love the fact that you have a solution and love learning. Like I opened up and said, love learning. Love this process. Fall in love with learning a new skill. Fall in love with getting better. Fall in love with with all of it, and get excited. Get excited about what's happening for other people in the business and know that that's possible for you. Man, I'll tell you, my first month in digital marketing, I didn't make anything. But I was having fun because, and you know what? I was going in the community and I was looking at the wins and I was just loving what was happening for other people. And I thought, man, I'm just going to keep following the system and I'm going to end up there. I'm going to end up there. And guess what? The next month was like a $2,000 month. Like, you just have to have fun and love as much of it as you can. And then the N, okay? So we're talking about tune, how to tune your mind. Okay, the N stands for neutralize. You have to neutralize negativity. And it's just a matter of choosing a different thought. But then also, too, you can stop the negativity before it begins. So how do we do that? Prayer, reading your Bible. If that's not your jam, turn on a podcast, go into the, right? Go and watch some inspirational videos, some Eric Thomas, right? Some Tony Robbins, some Mel Robbins, some of my videos. Like, you have got to surround yourself with people that inspire you and that are going to speak life into you and that are going to give you hope. Okay? That's how you can neutralize negativity. And you also have to guard your mind. Some of you just need to brainwash. You just need to completely brainwash yourself into believing the best in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you are born to succeed. Believe that you can create a better life. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your history is. Like, no, my friend, you can create a totally different life. You can be the hero in your own epic story. I believe that with everything in me, my friend. You do not have to stay the same. You can totally transform your life. You can completely transform your life. It's a choice. But the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to neutralize negativity. Love is going to connect you. Love is going to energize you. And you need to trust in the process and trust in your maker. And then talk to yourself instead of listening to yourself. I think, part of the problem is you're thinking too much and you're not talking to yourself. And so you're listening to this voice that's likely not even yours. It's likely from your enemy. And then what's happening is you're believing those thoughts and then you're nurturing that thought. Think about what you think about. You don't have to own every thought that comes through your mind. You know that, right? Did you know that you do not have to identify and attach yourself to every thought that crosses your mind? Did you know that you have the ability to say, no, right? I'm going to turn that thought around. I'm not going to think that way. I refuse to think that way. And then E, I started to write it and I don't know. Oh, it's elevate. I was like, I stopped writing right in the middle of the word. No, it's elevate. So I want you to think about the areas in your life that could use an upgrade. Maybe perhaps that is your nutrition. Maybe perhaps that's your physical fitness. Maybe perhaps that is the what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're entertaining, who you're entertaining. What are some areas in your life that need upgrading, that need elevating? Maybe it's your attitude. I know one way that you can truly elevate is through gratitude. When was the last time, instead of complaining about your job, instead of complaining about your situation and this, that, and the other, have you tried just being grateful? When was the last time you tried just being grateful? Man, I am grateful. I'm so grateful. I have the opportunity to make money here today. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to build my business, working only 2 hours a day from home. I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm so grateful that I can actually, I have the ability to work out. I can choose to drink, good water and nourish my body, right? Like, you can find even the slightest things to be grateful for. I remember when I was working on my gratitude, and I literally wrote down, "Thank you, God, for pin caps." Can you imagine if every pin on this planet had no cap on it? Like, I mean, I was just like, wow, God, like, there's so many little things that we can be grateful for. It doesn't even have to be necessarily the big things, right? I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to be able to come on here tonight and to talk to you tonight. I'm so grateful that I have the energy to do it. I'm so grateful that I have something on my heart to share that's going to change your life and impact you in a positive way. What are you grateful for today, my friend? Because that is going to help you elevate. When you can be grateful, you will elevate. Okay, my friends, moving on to the next topic. So we've talked a lot about mindset. Thanks to John Gordon. Such a great call tonight. But I also want to share with you the cash flow quadrant, because this is so important, my friends. Okay, it's backwards on every screen. So let me flip everything around. But we are going to go into the cash flow quadrant. And I'm excited to share that with you because I know it's going to help you. You're really going to be inspired, and you're going to be motivated to definitely want to change some things. So let's go ahead and make sure we can see this correctly, my friend. Super excited to be here with you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Power, influence, like, that's awesome. I love that. So we're going to move into, so now we understand what it takes to tune our minds. Okay, now we're going to shift our minds. And what we want to do is we want to talk about the cash flow quadrant, but I want to help you understand this side of the quadrant and why you want to be on this side of the quadrant. Okay, are you following me? Just put following in the comments. So as I stated earlier in the live, much of business is all here. Like employing yourself, being your own boss, owning your own business, being an entrepreneur you've got to master the mind. So if you're new to coming on here, just know that I go live just about every single night, Sunday through Friday. I want to give myself Saturday nights off. But Sunday through Friday, I go live every night, and I mainly talk about mindset. Why? Because if I can help you conquer your mind, you can crush any business you start. But it's going to start in your mind. So I do a lot of mindset stuff. But I want to talk to you about the cash flow quadrant. Are you familiar with this? So this is by Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. And this is just awesome. I first saw this in my first passive income business, and it made such a big difference. So most people, they start off here, okay, as an employee. And that's where everybody starts. It's very rare. I mean, maybe not everybody, but It is very rare to have someone start off as a business owner, but most people start as an employee. Why? Well, because you're taught go to high school, then go to college, get a career, get a job, and work. Okay. So, employees, what do employees do? And they have something in common with the self-employed, but I want to talk about employees. Employees trade time for money. If you're an employee, that means that you are giving your time in exchange for money. And so, what is the natural thing to do if you want more money? Most people, if they want more money, they just go and get another job. But then what happens is then you sacrifice your time. You lose time the more hours that you work. Okay? So being self-employed, this is what I thought my answer was. I thought my answer was, okay, if I want to have a lot of money, then I need to become self-employed. So that's what I did. I became a gym owner, and I thought, oh my God, this is my answer. This is how I'm going to have all this money. But the problem is that you're still giving up your time as someone who's self-employed, because when you're self-employed, you run everything. And you have to pay the land, you have to pay your landlord rent for your business, right? For your brick and mortar business. You have to pay all your employees. You have to pay, for all the repairs. So being an employee, being self-employed, it definitely has some benefits, but you are literally giving up every hour of your day practically. Okay, so for example, you've got to open the store, you've got to be there all day, you have to close the store, right? Or maybe perhaps you don't have a brick and mortar, but maybe perhaps you make products and you sell them on Etsy. Well, you have to make the product, you have to market the product, you have to ship the product, you have to pay, the shipping, like you have to pay for the website, you have to pay, right? So it doesn't matter. Even if you're even if you own an Etsy shop or whatever, you're still self-employed. You're still giving up so much of your time. Hey, Regina, good evening. Nice to see you on. You're still giving up so much of your time. So you still don't have freedom, right? The goal of being of owning your own passive income business is so that you can have freedom. You want to be able to wake up in the morning and determine exactly what you're going to do that day. You don't want to wake up to an alarm clock. You don't want someone else controlling how much money you make. Right? When I started my business, I had $70 to my name. I was so tired of someone else controlling where I had to be, when I had to be there, and how much I got paid. So I became a business owner. That's where you want to be. That's where the freedom is. The freedom is here. Okay. And I want to just say it's not really business owner, it's system owner. You want to own a system, which is what I'm offering for you. Okay. You want to be a system owner. So let me just share in case you don't know my story. So I had $70 to my name, right? At the time, I was self-employed. I went from an employee, I went from a personal trainer at a gym to owning the gym. And I realized that neither of these gave me time and financial freedom. I mean, I thought I was upgrading, but I wasn't. So I took my $70 back in 2012 and I bought a system that was already proven. Okay. It was already done for me. I didn't have to figure it out. I didn't have to make the products, right? Like imagine if you had to make Stanley cups from the bottom to the top and sell them to make money. You'd be like, no, absolutely not. But what if I told you you could own a business that's already done for you and it has a simple system and all you have to do is follow it? So this is where you can tap into the concept of leverage. Everybody put leverage in the comments. Leverage. Leverage. Leverage is your friend, my friend. Leverage will set you free. So leverage is giving you the ability to profit from what someone else has already done. So instead of you having to create the Stanley Cup, what if I just said, here is unlimited Stanley Cups and all the marketing is already done for you? All the things have already done. You just need to plug in. You'd be like, okay, it sounds a lot more appealing, right? So that's what system ownership is. So when I bought my system back in 2012 and I followed the system, I made $1,100 in my first 6 weeks and $33,000 in my first 11 months. And by the end of my first year in business, I quit my job. That, my friends, is system ownership, where you can use the concept of leverage to capitalize on the efforts of what other people have done, right? The business already has a system. So you're buying a system, my friends. So, and what I love about system ownership right here in this part of the quadrant is it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your network. It doesn't matter your skill set. Systems don't care if you're black, white, male, female, short, tall, right? Systems don't care. Systems work when you follow them, right, Anna? Anna knows all about systems, right? And so and also systems help you compress time. Okay, so let me walk you through this. So when I started my fitness business, okay, I had to pay $6,000 to start the fitness business. Okay. I had to create all of my fitness programs. So like my 28-day shred, my 10-week strong, my 13 days to my lean in 13. I couldn't even remember the name of my own program. So I created all of my programs. I had to create all of my ebooks, and then I had to sell them. Okay. So that took money and it took a lot of time, and I had to figure that all out. Okay. And that's self-employed. With being a system owner, my friend, with being a business owner, imagine everything's already done for you. The business is already built. You get to leverage the fact that someone else already built it. Now what you get to do is you get to buy it and you get to brand it as yourself, as your own, and you can make 100% profit. Or if you're in an affiliate marketing business, it's the same thing. Now you get to leverage the efforts of other people, get paid for building a team, get paid for product sales. But either way, they're both an incredible opportunity. I love MLMs. I will always be in an MLM. I'm in 3 of them right now. I love them. Either way it goes, system ownership is where it's at. System ownership is where it's at. You need to own a system, right? And then you're going to have money to invest. So what I teach my passive income clients is I say, you need to get out of debt first. I know everybody wants to quit their job. I know everybody wants to, buy a new car and all those things. I get that. But my friend, there is no freedom better than debt freedom. So I would recommend you start your business by going to the link above. Go to the link above or below, depending on what platform you're on right now. If you're on Facebook and TikTok, go to the link above. If you're on YouTube, go down here. All right. But I tell all of my passive income clients, get out of debt. Make that a number one priority. Like right now, I want you to ask yourself, how much money am I spending every month on debt? How much month are you spending every month on debt? And then multiply that by 12. And then imagine if you no longer had to give that money up. Like I remember I got so hardcore dead set on getting out of debt one year. Oh my gosh. I had a lot of credit card debt. And then I had my car note. Right. And man, talk about give yourself a raise. And I will tell you right now, I highly doubt that your job, being an employee, is going to give you the ability to get out of debt, because if it did, you would already be out of debt. You have to own a system, my friend. So what if I told you that you could build a passive income business from home, working 1 to 2 hours a day? Hey, Sam, thank you for the likes. Appreciate you. Imagine 1 to 2 hours a day. You could build your freedom machine. What if I told you you could literally start your business and have success within 24 hours? Thank you for the likes, Jax. I appreciate you. You could literally own your business, start it, and have success within 24 hours, my friend. Here's what I know. Success is not reserved for certain people. Success is for those who do not quit and who just follow the system. And so my mindset when I first started my business was, okay, all I have to do is check these boxes every day and do that every day, and I will get myself a better life. And that's exactly what happened. My husband died in 2008. My children were both under 4 years old when he died. I had no college education, a checkered past, struggled with addiction, no skills, no network, no social media, but I had a goal. I had a goal to change my life. And so if you have a goal to change your life and you're willing to follow a system and you're willing to invest in yourself 1 to 2 hours a day, my friend, you can have a totally different life by January 25. I want you to have a totally different life by January 25. I imagine you having a $10,000 Christmas. That is my goal. Who's coming with me? I've set a goal to have a $10,000 Christmas, and I want you to have a $10,000 Christmas. But more than that, it's not just about this Christmas, but what about the Christmas after that and the Christmas after that? Right? You have the opportunity to build an entirely different life. This is 2024, my friends. I'm telling you, this is the time you have an opportunity to just go. I mean, you can radically change your life with all of the resources in place. And the beautiful thing is I will help you. You are not going to have to do this alone. I will help you build this thing to the biggest level you could possibly ever build it to. So you have to have the mindset of a system owner. You have to have the mindset of a business owner. So something that I was telling my girls tonight, we had a call earlier tonight, is I was telling them, imagine like when you get your job, right? When you get your job that you currently have, you probably had to go through a training process, right? You probably had to get trained. Okay. So you went through training, and what if your boss told you, okay, Karen, okay, Shelby, you have to be, here's your training schedule. It's every night, for 1 hour from 7:30 to 8:30, that's your training schedule, right? Well, Greg would be like, okay, no questions asked. That's what I'm supposed to do. Then that's what I'm going to do. Okay, when you go into business, you need to have the same mindset, my friend. You need to have the same mindset. If you go being an employee is already training you for business. How is being an employee training you for business? Because as an employee, you show up no matter what. Am I right? As an employee at your job, you show up no matter what. Am I right? If your boss said, be here on Saturday at 1 p.m., you would show up, right? Because you don't want to get fired, right? So being a business owner, you have to go into it with the same type of mentality. The only difference is you don't have a boss. So what is your boss? So your boss is your goal. Your boss is your desire to quit your job and work from home. Your boss is your desire to look your kids in the face and say, guess what? We're going to Disney World, right? Your desire is, or your boss is to be able to get out of debt. And literally, like, can you imagine never having a car note again, never having a mortgage again, getting that monkey off your back? That's got to be your boss when you become a business owner. You can't play with this thing. So I had to tell a girl tonight, no lie, I had a call with a girl tonight and she was like, I think I'm just going to try. I just want to try it. And I'm like, no, honey, that's not going to work here. Because you cannot. Did you try your job that you currently have now? No, you didn't try it. You committed to the job that you took because you're still there, right? You didn't try your job. So you can't try this business. If you treat it like you treat your job, my friend, you can have a totally different life. And so for the past 12 years, that's what I've been doing. Now, there were times where I kind of slacked. I'll be honest with you. Why? Because I didn't have a new goal, right? I wasn't dreaming anymore. I kind of reached my peak, if you will. I didn't have a boss anymore. I quit my job. I paid off my cars. I paid off all my debt. My kids are now 20 years old and my kids are now 18 and almost 20, but now I have this new invigorating fire in me to set families free. I want to see, I've always wanted to set families free, but I'll be honest with you. I haven't been this passionate and this adamant about it. In the past, I would be kind of bummed if someone started and they quit. But now I am sold out to doing all of this mindset work with you because I never want you to quit on your dreams. I think about all those people that quit back in 2013, quit in 2014, quit in 2015. And I'm just like, man, I can't even imagine what their life would be like if they just didn't quit. So every night at 9:00, I come on live and I mainly work on mindset with you guys, because if I can get you to change this, you will crush your business. You will make a lot of money in business. I know you will, but you just got to get out of here. And you have to treat your job. You have to treat your business like you do your job. So your job has been preparing you for business ownership because it's taught you the work ethic, right? It's taught you to not call in when you get a little scratch in your throat. And for whatever reason, sometimes we get over here to business ownership and we won't do our business because it's a gorgeous day outside. Hey, guilty, my friend. Guilty. I've done it. But you can't do that when you are working towards a dream, when you're working towards that better life. You have to treat it like your job. I promise you, my friends, listen to me. I will show up here every night, Sunday through Friday. I'm going to give myself one night off. Can I have Saturday night off, please? I will do my best unless I'm out of town like I was this weekend and I am going to be out of town this coming weekend. I will do my best to show up here at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time to help you with your mindset. Might not be able to sleep after because you're going to be fired up like me, but that is my promise to you, is to not only help you with your mindset, but also help you build your business as well. Okay. So if you haven't done so, please visit the link, learn more about the opportunity that's before you. Okay. I love you, my friend. Have an amazing night, and we will talk later. See you tomorrow, I hope. Bye, my friend. Have a great night.